Alright, hello everybody. Let me just make sure that we're actually doing this correctly, and we are. Hello everybody. Thank you for stopping by. I guess no one's really here yet, but if you're watching the VOD, hello. We're back with Rise of Bellator series, and we've had quite a bit of news going on. I'm pretty dead inside because I didn't get great sleep last night, but I will try to go as far as I possibly can. That's Deanna Peruzzo. And we did have a bit of news. Hey, PWCC. First off, Fedor retired, and he won't let me talk him out of it, so that sucks. Andre Fiallo got injured, and we replaced him with Fernando Gonzalez. I don't think it will change anything, really. Rose Namajunas signed with us, and also everyone that was up for re-signing did re-sign with us, so we didn't lose anybody, thankfully. And Michael Bisping also retired after he lost against Chris Weidman. And CM Punk apparently got booked, which means he's probably going to be open for a contract negotiations pretty soon. Hey, Brother Nero, we already got 3 people in here. That is definitely very good. But now I really have no idea who to put Brock Lesnar up against. I also don't know when to put Brock Lesnar up against people because he currently doesn't want to fight at all, which is kind of very annoying because he's not retired, and I honestly do not understand. But it's okay because at our next event, Bellator 210, we're going to have George St. Pierre making his debut. Or not our next event, but the next event we book, because both GSP and Douglas Lima are going to be available to fight. So that is going to be the match. But for right now, we'll just get into Bellator 207. So how's everybody been doing? I've been pretty lackluster. I tried to get a UPW episode out this week as hard as I possibly could, but it just can't really happen. Although I think I'm just going to do one show for UPW. It'll help me get the time back straight because I want to have a go-home show, and then I forgot what the event was called, but whatever that pay-per-view is. And I think I'm just going to do one show and release it this upcoming week, and also maybe an Academy episode, but don't get your hopes up because I am not going to be promising anything, because normally when I do that, I don't follow through just because my schedule is so hectic. But we don't have to look at the predictions. We'll just get right into the fight. I definitely think Gabriel Green's going to win this. David Rickles is a pretty good fighter, but Ben Askren may be a good matchup for GSP if he is available. Fedor Brock today. Ooh, Gino. I gotta tell you something. Fedor retired, and Brock won't fight for me for whatever reason. Tried to talk Fedor out of it, but he would not have it. He is completely retired. But I doubt Ben Askren is available, but if he is, I'll definitely shortlist him at the very least. But yeah, so that kind of Fedor's retirement kind of puts a cog in our, and there we go, Gabriel Green TKO on David Rickles, and Fedor retiring kind of puts a cog in the machine that we had going. But I guess it's gonna be like Brock Lesnar versus what's his name, whoever our heavyweight champion is. I actually forgot. Maybe Frank Mir. Might be Quentin Jackson, though. And Gabriel Green wins that one. I think he's undefeated still. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to his record. But Bruna Vargas versus Christina Marks is who we got up next. I definitely think... well, I don't know. I think Bruna Vargas might... Oh, there we go. I was not paying attention to what was happening, but Bruna Vargas wins by knockout. 35 seconds in round 1. So great start to Bruna Vargas. I guess I don't know if she's had a fight before this, but she moves on to 5-1, despite being the underdog on the betting line. but apparently she sold herself well in the post-fight interview. Next up, we have Leonardo Liete versus Linton the Swarm Vassell. I think Vassell's going to take this pretty easily. Did you watch the last UFC pay-per-view? No. I don't really have pay-per-view money right now. And I'm not really too interested. I watched Khabib versus McGregor. And that's about it. I normally watch Bellator, but I haven't been in a while. I need to catch up with what's going on there. And looks like we might have a third knockout here, as Vassell almost got one right there. And Liete needs to get him on the ground because he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo fighter. But for right now, Vassell's kind of controlling him pretty well. But I have quite the busy day. I got to record UPW, hopefully the Academy as well. Nick is coming over in like 2 hours-ish, so we can record the Outcast. We were supposed to do it on Labor Day, but that didn't happen, so that was fun. And there we go, Liete knocked down. Looks like we got a TKO in round 2. And Herb Dean jumps in. Winner by TKO, Linton Vassell. So we are 3 for 3 on TKO/knockout wins on the prelims. Ooh, Linton Vassell actually retired there. Or Leonardo Liete, rather. And I think the last preliminary fight, Karl Suabababa versus Valentin Moldavsky. So, Badwater versus Valentin. And I think you know, I don't want to ever bet against a Russian, but I think Karl Badwater, however you say his last name, might be able to take this one, just because of his big weight advantage. I don't think he's going to be able to, or I don't think Valentin's going to be able to take him down quite as easily as he would have liked. And I think if they stay on their feet, Karl's got this one in the bag. But I definitely do like Karl. He is one of my favorite prospects, but he normally doesn't do too great. He's no scrub, but he's normally not too fantastic. Like I bet like a 10-10 record is. There we go. Ow. Looks like my prediction was wrong. I mean, Karl's not knocked out yet, but they stayed on their feet, and Badwater was still not able to get advantage of Valentin. In fact, Moldavsky actually almost knocked him out there. Do y'all have any links for the fight? I'm sure you could find it somewhere, because the internet is just a bunch of pirated links, pretty much. Alexander Nevetsky Club. Sorry, I just had to reach for my phone because I accidentally threw it across the room. Well, not accidentally, but I didn't realize I was going to need it. Or someone was actually going to try to contact me. Might be Nick. Might be canceling on me. Dear God, let's hope not. Alright, so it looks like Valentin might... Do you watch boxing? Not frequently. Like... yeah, no, not really. Like, I watch the really big fights, but that's just like any other person in America. And I'm really fascinated with boxing. Like, I watch, you know, a lot of boxing, like, entertainment outside of, well, I forgot what I was saying, actually. Or outside of the events, rather. But, I didn't know Nevsky had anything to do with MMA. He's a bodybuilder in Russia. I see. Oh, is that who Valentin is? Oh, Alexander. I see. At his club. I did not see that previously. But his trainee, his protege, Valentin Moldavsky. I'm probably not saying that right. Moldavsky. Wins by unanimous decision. Fight being rated as average. Fine, it's prelims. And that was his Bellator debut. Hopefully you can keep the train rolling. Actually, this would be our preliminary main event. And Augusto Sakai has this in the bag, in my opinion. He's got a 3-inch height advantage. You know, he's significantly better on his feet. And I don't think Javi Alea is going to do very well against Sakai here. GGG versus Canelo tomorrow, I believe. Oh yeah, I did see an ad for that. I don't know. I might tune in after the fact, maybe even if I'm doing it. And a woeful actor. Yeah, that's kind of what happens whenever bodybuilders try and get into acting. Like even, even Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually horrible. In Conan in New York, no. Dang, I forgot what that movie was. Barbarian? No, I think it. I don't know. Whatever Arnold Schwarzenegger's first movie was, it was horrible. His accent was so bad that they had to dub over him. But I don't know. You know, he made Terminator 2, so you really can't talk bad about Arnie's acting. Funny enough, Nevsky calls himself Russian Arnold for reals. Okay, you know, I liked this guy a little bit previously. I was like, oh, cool, you know, he's dipping his hands into a bunch of different baskets, or whatever that saying is. And, you know, he's a bodybuilder, he's a MMA fighter, I guess, and an actor. Even if he might be horrible at one or all of those things, you know, at least he's trying. But you can't go around calling yourself Russian Arnold. I mean, even if you're buffed as shit, you're not Arnold. You're not the Terminator. And is that really a compliment nowadays? Like, I get that Arnie is, you know, a cultural icon. He's also kind of a shit dude. But I guess he was governor of California, and that kind of comes with the territory. But actually, my prediction was wrong. Javi Alea beat Augusto Sakai. So that makes Javi 11-7. And yeah, moving on to the main show, Matt Secor versus Joey Davis. Definitely rooting for Joey Davis here. He's put on some really good showings previously, and I think that if he can, you know, keep up this level of competition and improve in his abilities a little bit more, he will be able to take the crown off of Neiman Gracie and, oh geez, what's his name? Logan Storley as the top prospect in that division. And yeah, I'm currently talking to Nick about Outcast stuff, so sorry if I'm a little bit quiet. I'm just trying to focus on that. But how was everyone's week? How's everything going? We're really close to 275 in terms of subs right now, so that's exciting. I think we're 273 right now. And after that, goes up to 300, and that would be like 300 subscribers, or hitting 300 subscribers only like a month or two after we hit 200, which obviously, considering I've been on YouTube for like 3 years, on and off, granted, 2 to 3 years, actually probably 2. It is definitely an improvement in terms of growth. So I'm very happy about that. It's finally starting to snowball a little bit. Still a tiny snowball, about the size of a grain of sand, but in contrast to most of the channels you probably watch on YouTube, but you know. Alright, so what's going on here? Looks like Davis is kind of controlling them a little bit, at least from what I've seen, you know, in the 5 seconds I've actually been paying attention. But they are very similar in style. Matt Secor is a little bit taller, and obviously he has more experience. But as of right now, they look pretty even. Davis does open up Secor with the cut. But look pretty even. And man, I'm just really tired. We're down to 3 viewers, so I'm obviously doing a great job at commentating on this stream. But I promise I can give him my full focus in just a moment, you know, because I never want to like leave gaps in the speech, even when like nobody's watching or commenting, just because of a significant amount of people view these on VOD. So it's actually, I think, one of my most popular series just on VOD. It's definitely my most popular stream series, but I guess that's not really comparable considering I had like half the viewers concurrently whenever I was streaming previously. I'm too tired, bro. I'm tired too, bro, but I can't sleep. Well, you're from Eastern Europe? What time would it be there? Like, okay, 7 hours in France. So it'd be like 9 in France right now, because that's where my sister is. So I would say like the 12 a.m.? 1 a.m.? I don't know. What time is it wherever you are? Also, where are you? 10 p.m. in Ukraine. That was close-ish. But Joey Davis does defeat Matt Secor by unanimous decision in 5 minutes of round 3. And Joey Davis is great at selling himself in interviews. Joe Warren versus Delano Lopez. I think Warren might have this one, but I really want Delano Lopez to take it. He is one of our recent UFC signings, and I really need him to do well. But, yeah, because, you know, not that our UFC signings haven't done well, but our roster is a lot thinner than I would like it to be, despite us signing a lot of bigger stars from the UFC and etc. We're always stretching a little too thin for the events, and that's why we need to build our roster up a little bit more as time goes on, which I did do recently, but I feel like the problem with signing all these big names is that I'm not going to want to fight too many people, and that's going to kind of create a gap between the lower section of my roster of like a weight division and an upper section, which obviously there already is a gap, but like I don't want to have people saying I don't want to fight them even if they're like the #1 contender, which is happening in lightweight. I didn't know you were going live. I didn't know I was going live either. I hadn't really figured it out yet because Nick was hadn't answered me on the time we were going to stream or record, but that's at 4, so it's RBM. I know. And no, surprisingly, Life's Problems, so Let's Talk is not a very common name, so I've been able to... Oh, there we go. Delano Lopez wins by submission with an arm triangle. Only a decent match, or fight, rather. And Joe Warren retires from MMA, so that's not good. I mean, it's not horrible. I was definitely expecting it to come sooner or later, but he is one of the bigger names in that division, so that is certainly not good. For anyone just stopping by, I'm just going to give it to you straight. Fedor retired, Brock still won't fight, and pretty much everybody is retiring. So that's great. Trying to reset my bio clock after staying up all night for the past couple weeks. We also miss Hobo Vibes. Yeah, I don't know where he is right now. He needs to... Ooh, there we go. Salter falls to the floor. Schilling might have a big upset here. He's not able to get it. I think the referee might have made a mistake there and not calling for the TKO. But I mean, I really can't argue with his decision there. But normally when you get knocked down and then there's the big shots, that is a TKO. But I mean, I obviously wasn't there. I'm just seeing the recap. So hopefully Schilling can, do that again. Although, I don't really know. He is obviously a lot better on his feet than John Salter. But the longer this fight stretches, the longer, or the more it goes in the favor of John Salter. Which is probably why he is expected to win this because Joe Schilling only has 9 fights. This is his 10th, and he normally does pretty well. He is one of the most popular people in the division, and he's like 34, so I think he must have had a career in Muay Thai before this. I'm not super into Muay Thai. I love John Wayne Parr, but other than that, I'm not super into Muay Thai, so I don't really know the scene. But Schilling is currently up 2-0, so as long as he can get away from Salter's submission, he is okay, I almost ate my own words there, as Schilling is able to escape the armbar. But all right, so as soon as I say that, another armbar is applied, and John Salter defeats Joe Schilling in 138 of round 3. As soon as John Salter got him on the ground, that fight was pretty much over, and that's obviously not ideal for Joe Schilling. Next up, Bobby Lashley versus Heath Herring. I got to give this to Bobby Lashley. Heath Herring is, I signed him from Risen, and I've never had him on my roster before, but he's 40 years old. I mean, granted, Bobby is 42, but Bobby's also a freak of nature, and I've never, really, been too impressed with Bobby in terms of his performance, but he is 16-4 for a reason, and I think Bobby Lashley will be able to outwork Herring in the long run. But as for the first round, Heath Herring does have the lead. So that Texas Jiu-Jitsu is really coming in handy right now. All Bobby Lashley has to do is take Herring out with the takedown. He didn't use it in his last fight, and that is why he lost. If you haven't watched the first couple episodes of this series, or first couple streams, I guess, and you have no idea what that means, and you probably think I'm a little bit crazy, which I, kind of am. But as for right now, the Texas Crazy Horse is kind of handling Lashley, but he did run out of steam in that round a little bit, and Lashley was able to take back a round, at least in terms of Mauro Ranallo's opinion. Yeah, I cannot say words right now. At least in terms of Mauro Ranallo's opinion. But they're both really tired, and it looks like Lashley just has he has the advantage in terms of position, which might get him the win, but this definitely hasn't been a pretty fight after the first round or the first half of the second round, because they just ran out of steam, really. But looks like Lashley is going to win in this event, and 29-28, Bobby Lashley defeats Heath Herring by unanimous decision, moving up to 17-4. Jesus. And let's actually take a look at the fight metrics. Yeah, not a very exciting fight. Only got an average. I'm not too impressed with either of their performances. Bobby definitely didn't look like a potential champion or challenger even. But, he got the win, and he isn't retiring yet, so that is great. Next up, we have Josh Koscheck versus Lorenz Larkin, which is going to be our main event, of course, and this will decide the #1 contender for the middleweight belt. We have like 6 weight classes, so I honestly cannot keep them in track. Are you streaming the 1980s local global tonight? I'm not going to be able to for the Patreon stream. I'm going to do it tomorrow, definitely. I will not cuck you guys on that. But I have to work tonight at 6:30, and Nick and I are recording the Outcast at 4. So I really don't have any time to. But tomorrow, if we're available, or really any time in the week for the most part, I'll go ahead and stream UPW 1980 if you're interested in that series, if you want to join us tomorrow, afternoon or night. I don't really know when it's going to be, and that is Central Time, U.S. Central Time. And head over to the Patreon. We have a couple shirts in circulation right now, and if you want a shirt, you just got to be a $10 patron. But I think there are 6 6 outside interference shirts roaming the world. Actually, no, 7. So that's cool. I mean, obviously, that's not a big number, but that's certainly more than I ever thought would take me up on that offer. So, wow, okay, it's a knockout. I mean, I guess, granted, 3 of them are from me and Nick, but, 4 is not too bad. But here we go. Lorenz Larkin defeats Josh Koscheck by knockout in 3:09 of round 2, fight being rated as great. And Lorenz Larkin takes back his #1 contendership spot, and he will get a title shot. Ooh, Josh Koscheck actually retires. So that kind of sucks for us, but we have a lot of new people coming into the roster. Hopefully we can get them, in to fill in for Josh Koscheck, and we need to build up some of our younger guys to fill that void a little bit more. And we made $667,000 on this event. Not too bad. I'm warning my outside. I'm assuming you meant wearing. I'm wearing my outside interference right now. I think you bought the UPW one, right? Or the Chaos one. I still haven't gotten that one. I definitely need to. And wearing, not warning. Worrying. But yeah, I still haven't gotten that one. Right now I just have the Outcast, which I'm actually wearing right now, and the outside interference one, which I really like those two. I definitely like the gold on the Outcast shirt, or just the logo in general. I'm a big fan of gold. And wow, okay. Oh, that is not good. Please. All right, cool. So Valentin leaves, and Joe Warren retires. Fun. All right, we can delete all of these. I don't. There we go. Oh, Bobby Lashley is retiring. That's fun. All right, so Bobby Lashley retires. What's his face retires? Leonardo Liete retires. Josh Koscheck retires. Everybody seems to retire now, which is fun. But I got the black and red Chaos shirt. That is a good one. All right. So that really sucks. We need to make our roster a little bit younger. I feel like we're relying too much on older guys, and I guess all these retirements are a good thing, maybe, because now it gives us a little more room to rely on the younger guys. But the only problem with that is all the young guys are signed with UFC right now, and to really big deals, so we really can't do anything about that. We just kind of have to build our own, and that is significantly harder than it sounds, because in this game popularity is pretty weird, and since people only have like 3 fights a year maximum, you really can't do much. Did Mir retire yet? I think he might have. All right, we're going to give Joey Davis 4 years because I want him to stick around for a little bit. He is one of my favorite prospects. Carl Badwater, you can stay around for 1,000, I guess. I'm not too high on him anymore. He's lost a lot, but I guess we need a heavyweight division. Not everybody can be a winner. Or not everybody can win every match, every fight, I guess. I'll check Mir. I actually don't remember if he retired. And he did not. He is currently our heavyweight champion. That's it. And you know what? He needs to face Brock Lesnar. But I don't know why he can't. We'll see if Bellator 2010 is, I almost said 2010, is the event for that. For some reason I doubt it, or I know the reason. It's because, for whatever reason, Brock Lesnar will not fight for me, and I'm paying him a crap ton of money to fight for me. Oh, Mark Hunt versus Kenny Spotwood. We can probably wait for someone else. That doesn't work either. We'll do that. We can do that on the prelims. And in terms of welterweight, there we go. That's our main event for sure. Oh, are you serious? George doesn't want to fight Douglas Lima, the champion. Oh, never mind. He did it whenever it was a title match. Okay, that's fine. Good for you, George. All right, next up. You know what? Let's go ahead and give Logan Storley a bit of a chance to prove himself. He's done very well in terms of the lower matches, but he hasn't been tested too much by higher level competition, and you know, I feel like Nico Price is a good person to put him up against, to test him for the first time, really. We'll do Paul Sass versus Brent Primus. That's an easy one to make, and actually this probably should be on the prelims, but for right now I'm just gonna have them on the main card. Michael Chandler, he can be saved. Carrington, I don't know. Are we going to be pushing that Gracie kid? I mean, yeah, Neiman Gracie. I really like Neiman Gracie in real life, and I think he has the best chance to be a future champion. So we are definitely going to be pushing him a little bit at least. I mean, I'm just going to keep putting him in matches, and if he wins. But as of right now, you know, I really don't know. He is undefeated, so that is definitely great, but I'm going to be, I want him to be around for a really long time. That's my goal. All right, oh, nope, $10,000. That's a little bit too much. That's a little bit better. All right, next up, featherweight. All right, Michael Chandler, who is 3-0 in Bellator, versus someone else. I wish we could do Daniel Pineda, but it doesn't look like we will. No, actually. All right, Daniel Pineda versus Michael Trizano. I doubt Trizano's going to lose that. I'd be very surprised. All right, dude, going to bed since it's 3:15 a.m. Hope you guys have a good stream. Cheers. Good night. Thank you for sticking with us for so long. Geez, it's really late where you are. That's all I got to say, really. Thanks for watching, and I'll try to stream earlier next time. It was a little bit of a late stream today. Is Neiman Gracie part of the Gracie family, or is it just a coincidence? No, he is part of the Gracie family. They roll out a bunch of the Gracies whenever Neiman's fighting. And actually, here we go. Takeya Mizugaki. I almost said Takayuki Yagi, but no, that is the referee from the academy, not the MMA fighter. And he's going to be on the main card, as well as not these guys. I think LC Davis versus Serwan Kakai. That'd be good. Ooh, actually, we might have a good women's match lined up. And no, we don't. We got Cyborg, and that's pretty much it. But we're saving Cyborg for the title shot. So, as of right now, ooh, we can do Simona versus Anastasia. Russian versus the Pole, except she's not Polish. What is she? Czech. The Russian versus the Czech. That is the main, or that's the match that everybody's been asking for, or at least the Russian and the Czech. Other than that, all right, Lima versus St. Pierre. I think GSP is gonna win that, but we're not gonna watch that this stream. I think that's gonna be next time. I don't really have time to go to this stream. I mean, I guess I have time, maybe, if I really want to stay up late and record the UPW later, but I might sound dead inside, so I don't know about that. Alright, so our Women's Flyweight Championship is still vacant. Okay, that's it, actually. Alright, we also need to do this, the Alikanov versus Elias Silverio. That should be around the corner pretty soon. I just don't know when, really, because I obviously have to do it. I have to book it myself, and a lot of the people from that show are back in working condition, are healthy enough to fight. If Brock won't fight, could we put me in the game as a fighter? I mean, I could do that regardless. Next time we have if Brock won't fight, next time we have a reality TV show, or even if he will, I'll put you in the game, since you are a Patreon, and I can't say no to you, or else I will lose money. All jokes, of course. Actually, man, I really want to know why he won't fight for me, because it doesn't even have him as absence. Like, whenever I go to add a fight, let's say for here, he's not absent. So, actually, availability. Because he would not have enough preparation time available. What do you mean? Yes, he would. What if I had a show in the second week of October, Sunday? If I do that, will he have enough? Oh wait, it already is October. So the second week of November, and I try to add. Oh, there he is. A Brock Lesnar versus Mark Hunt for the #1 contendership. Is that a good idea? I think that might be a good idea. I'm gonna add it. And of course, Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir, because to be honest, Brock Lesnar's probably gonna whoop what's his face's ass? What's his name? Mark Hunt. But let's see if we can add any other fights. We'll put that on the prelims. Might as well. Jan Finney versus Amanda Bell. That'll also be on the prelims. And we'll edit that after the next event. As for now, I think we're all good. Moving on to our next event, probably. I don't think we have any decisions. Oh wait, yes we do. Alright, well, moving on. Alright, so that's good. I just have to book Brock out like 2 months ahead. So, that really sucks. I wish I had known that before Fedor retired, so I could have booked them. Brock Lesnar versus Mark Hunt 2 sounds good. Yeah, and then it will hopefully lead to Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir 3. I've had 3 fights, right? Or 2. I've had 2 so far. Probably. I don't know. Probably should, but I don't really know. Actually, speaking of, anything UFC, have you guys heard the rumors that Logan Paul is trying to get a fight with Sage Northcutt? Which is the most ridiculous thing on the I can't even speak. It's so ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing I have heard in a long time. Because maybe Logan Paul looked decent in the first 2 rounds against a guy who's 5 inches shorter than him and not an actual boxer. Not a guy who's been training his entire life to be a boxer, but a guy who just is pretty fit, way shorter than him, and trained for like 2 years. That's not a real boxer. I mean, that's a person who boxes, but that is not a professional boxer. KSI is not a professional boxer, and he is trying to go up against Sage Northcutt, who, for one thing, is a freak of nature in terms of his athletic ability, and for another thing, is one of the best MMA fighters in the world. I mean, maybe not on UFC's roster, but also, does it say Fedor will retire at the next fight? Oh no, he's retired. Like, it's not like with Bobby. He's actually just retired. Ooh, okay. So a lot of people on Javi Alea. That's weird. Alright. Ours is the only one he's currently considering, though, so it doesn't really matter. And, dang, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah, Sage Northcutt is going to whoop his ass. I don't care that Logan was, like, a decent wrestler in high school. Sage Northcutt was probably a state champion wrestler in high school, and a fucking national champion in college. I don't know if that's true. I'll look it up right now, but I would not be surprised because, unlike Logan Paul, Sage Northcutt is a generational athlete. Like, he's the kind of guy that you could plug in at any sport and he could be okay, just because he's so freaking athletic. Jesus Christ, he's only 22 years old. How is that even possible? All right, well that's my shock for the day. I did not know that Sage Northcutt was only 22 years old. I thought he was at least like 26. And he's from Katy, Texas. Nice. Actually, I don't think he had any. Yeah, no, he has a karate background. That makes sense. But definitely could beat Logan Paul's ass. I'll tell you that much. Two cornballs seeking attention. Yep, pretty much. Joey Davis. Oh, wait, no, don't do that. Alright, we're the only one he's currently considering, so it doesn't really matter. Actually, Phil Davis is fully recovered, so he can probably face off against someone on this event, maybe? Nope, but hopefully sooner rather than later. Also, let's say Brock beats Hunt and Mir. Could we save Lashley for about 9 more months without fighting so we could fight Brock? Lashley just retired. Like, remember, he was one of the like five people that retired on the same day. That was fun times. But yeah, no, Lashley, I mean, we can try and talk him out of retirement, but he's not really, like, it's not going to be a competition, I doubt. Because, I mean, maybe in real life, I feel like Brock Lesnar, or Bobby Lashley could compete with Brock Lesnar in real life, but in this mod, Bobby Lashley's kind of a scrub. I mean, he's like an upper echelon scrub, because he's an amazing wrestler. Doesn't he have 1 fight left before he retires? No. Maybe he does, actually. Hold on. Oh, yeah, he does. Okay. Alright, yeah, no, you're right. I thought that came before his last fight. So, Tisha Tokar is recovered. Let's put him on this. Can't, but maybe. No. Alright. Why is Tisha Tokar not available? Is he a light heavyweight? No. Oh, already booked to fight. Is he? I mean, oh yeah, Tyrell Fortune. Fortune. I don't know why I said it, so weird. Alright. That is cool. We'll go ahead and advance to the next show. Yeah, so if I had to rank the top prospects right now in all weight classes, like my top 5 for Bellator, in the game, of course, not in real life. I don't watch enough Bellator to know that. But Michael Trizano is number 1. Then probably Tisha Tokar. Then after that, Neiman Gracie, and then Logan Storley, and then Joey Davis. And those are my top 5. Might not be like the most promising. I might just be forgetting people, but those are the ones that have made the biggest impression on me. So they're going to be getting the biggest pushes out of anyone. I say pushes, but like it's not TEW. I'm just going to be putting them in matches with more priority. But Eric Anders would actually be very nice to have. I don't know. We need to go through UFC's rosters and shortlist some more people. And actually just go through the whole, the entirety of the game and shortlist. Maybe like some newly debuted people. Who was the Gracie killer? Geez, some Japanese guy. I forgot his name. Ooh. Uh. Yeah, no, I forgot his name. He didn't have a very impressive record. I remember this from whenever I made articles for OutsiderInterference.net. Um. Oh man, I can't remember. It was something. I mean, he's retired by now, I'm sure. Yeah, no, I have no idea. Speaking of Gracie killers, Sakuraba. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know if it is. I mean, I don't doubt it because I bet I like honestly just don't know his name at all. Just that it's Japanese. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Ken Shamrock. What a badass. Like, for one thing, he is, you know, one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. Just because, I mean, and he was one of the first. Like, he played a big part in Pancrase, obviously, who was, like, the main attraction with, you know, Mr. Gracie. I forgot, oh, jeez, what was his first name? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Neiman. Nope, that's the one on our roster. Nope. Alright, well, I'm forgetting everybody's name. Hoist Gracie. I forgot the greatest of all time's name. It's okay. But, yeah, I guess, I mean, Hoist, he's a GOAT. He might not be the GOAT, but he's a GOAT. He's certainly the best, I don't know. But, Ken Shamrock, like, if you look into his life story, he's a real cool guy. Like, he obviously went through a lot of foster homes. And, yeah, he had to struggle with a lot of stuff, and he ended up successful. And, then he cut his hand during training, so he wasn't able to fight Kimbo Slice. Sakuraba is still fighting in MMA. Maybe Neiman can take him on. Oh, that'd be actually a really good fight. I'll check that right now. I will check that right now. What's his first name? I don't know how good he'll be in the mod, but Kazushi. But, you know, oh, he's in the UFC Hall of Fame. Wow. Yeah, we can definitely make that fight. Gotta go, mate. Have a good stream. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully to see you in the next one. This one shouldn't go on for too much longer. I'll make sure to get through the next event. I might skip through a couple matches because I got a lot of stuff to do. But they'll all be prelims for the most part. I don't actually know what the card is for the next event, so I can't really say anything can't really say anything further on that. But I'm sure I put some boring filler matches somewhere. As of right now, you know, in terms of what we need to do in the Rise of Bellator series to make sure that we are, you know, allowing Bellator to rise, for one thing, we definitely need to focus more so on our prospects. And, alright, no one really competed with us, so we signed everybody. What was the name? Kazuyushi? When's the second season of Bellator reality TV show? I don't know. We're going to give it a couple months, but shouldn't be too long. Where is he? Kazuyuki. It's Kazuyushi, right? I think so. Oh, he might be under retired fighters actually in the mod. I'm sure he's in it. If he's a UFC Hall of Famer, he's definitely in the mod. But, oh wait, there it is. Kazuyoshi Sakuraba. And we are going to go ahead and talk to him. Nope. No dice on that one, unfortunately. We're not going to be able to get him in for that fight. But let's go ahead and take a look. Ooh, that's a good one. We're going to put that for Bellator 211, which is turning out to be one of our bigger events, it seems. Preston Bishop versus Francisco France. There we go. You know, Uriah Hall needs someone to face, but other than that... Ooh, actually... Alright, hold on. Featherweight. I don't know. We'll figure this out after the next event. And actually, probably next stream. But as for now, let's just go ahead and advance to the next. Are there any other Gracies still fighting? Yeah, there's quite a few. We have one other on our roster, unless he retired. I forgot his name. He's not in this. They're not in the same weight class though. I think the other one's a middleweight and Neiman's a welterweight. We could probably make them fight, but it really wouldn't be beneficial to either of them. Because like it wouldn't really give Neiman anything, and it wouldn't, you know, even if the other one won. I honestly do not remember his name. There's so many of them. But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of a Gracie versus Gracie fight, unless like it's a title fight. But just to throw one in there to fuel Neiman Gracie's win streak, I don't think it's necessary. We actually need to look into generated fighters soon, because we've gone, I forgot when this mod started, but we started at like Bellator 195, so we've gone like 20 events, and it's 2 weeks an event, so that or 2 events every month, so that means 10 months. So okay, so we started in January. So that should give us quite a bit of time to generate some good prospects. We just need to find them. And honestly, heavyweights are probably the easiest to scout, just because if they're super big and they are, you know, good boxers and decent wrestlers, then they can normally do very well in that division. But I don't know. I don't know what divisions we need. We need a better women's division, both of them, flyweight and featherweight. But I guess, I mean, we have kind of beefed out featherweight a little bit more. But how do you think Fedor will do in the Bellator MMA heavyweight tournament? Is that still going? I thought that ended. Is Fedor Chael happened yet? Because I remember Fedor knocking out Frank Mir. I watched that live. I reviewed it for the site. But Bellator 208. All right. I think he has a pretty good chance of beating Chael Sonnen. And I do not think he will win, though. I think he'll make it to the finals. They'll get a big money fight out of him. But I think Ryan Bader is going to win. I think that's probably it. Because he just looked so down. I mean, granted, it was against King Mo, and King Mo's not... He's not the most well-rounded fighter, but, like, it took 13 seconds to knock out King Mo. So, I think Ryan Bader is pretty... I think he's a shoe-in. I don't actually know what that saying is. For the... To win it. And I think he and Matt Mitrione will have a couple rematch fights or whatever. And then Frank Mir will probably get a shot. Chael will probably get a shot. Honestly, King Mo will probably get a shot. But I think Ryan Bader is probably the best fighter they have overall. I think that's probably... I mean, Dylan Danis, I mean, he's not the best. He's just probably the best prospect, and they push him so hard because he's kind of friends with Conor McGregor. Everybody's like, oh, look, he's just like Conor McGregor. Don't you see? Don't you see? And they've been, like, on that one event that he made his debut, he was facing a guy. Granted, he was a lot more experienced in MMA, but like they gave him such an easy matchup for his first fight. They're obviously just trying to build him, which I can respect, but the guy just acts like he's so fake. Like, at least whenever Conor McGregor is, a prick, like he's doing it because that's just Conor McGregor. Like, he's trying to get into his opponent's head. Whenever Dylan Danis is a dick, he's just trying to be Conor McGregor, and he's obviously just phony. And I really want to see Dylan Danis get his ass kicked. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't pay money to see Dylan Danis get his ass kicked, which is the bad part about it. But I would really like to see it happen. That would be ideal. We need some... I don't know what division we're lacking in terms of men. Maybe light heavyweight, I guess. Like, Ryan Bader is obviously at the top. And then not Paul Daly. What's his name? We just had him fight Ryan Bader. And he just came back from Phil Davis. He and Phil Davis kind of run the division, and Ryan Bader has kind of been running Phil Davis. But, as of right now, we really don't have anyone under them. So I think signing prospects in light heavyweight division is very important. Middleweight and welterweight were good. Lightweight were pretty good. Bantamweight, we could probably use some help. And same with featherweight probably. But other than that, I think we're good. Yeah. I like how I listed all the divisions except for like one. Would you buy the Daniel versus Brock pay-per-view? Daniel Cormier? Man. I mean, if I had money, yes, but I don't, so no. I'll watch it, but I won't pay for it. I do think Daniel Cormier is going to get his ass kicked, and if WWE were smart, they would bring Daniel Cormier. Oh, I guess Brock doesn't really. Well, if this was like 2015 and WWE were smart. But yeah, no, I definitely think Brock would beat Daniel. I think the size difference is just too much. Like, that hasn't been too much of an issue for Daniel in previously, but like Brock is just a different beast. I think he'll win by decision. I don't think Daniel has, because he's also like, I mean, they're both fantastic wrestlers, obviously. So it's a very even match in terms of skill set. Maybe Daniel has a bit of a boxing advantage there, but I feel like Brock's size and strength just kind of push him over the edge. I think he's gonna win. If it happens. Has it even been announced? I don't know. I just remember when he pushed Daniel, the dude went he went flying. It's kind of ridiculous. Whoa, famous for being the chick that Sherdog Radio's TJ DeSantos once puked all over back in his training days. Alright. That's nice. Kelly Cobold. She took a hiatus from MMA to chase a career in the Lingerie Football League. Well, that was her first mistake. I don't understand how that is still a thing. Like, it's you have shoulder pads and you have a helmet and underwear. I don't like, it's not appealing to me in any way. But because there's like, I understand what it's trying to do, but there's so many things that do it so much better, and it's just crappy football. And like, I'm all for a women's football league. It won't be very popular. Like, just look at the WMBA. People just don't watch women's sports very often. And, that's a little bit fucked up, but, like, if women wanted to watch women's sports, then the WNBA players would be more popular. Would we be able to pull off a one-night tournament? Probably not. I tried that the first time I played this game, and, like, everybody got injured. Or actually, Frank Mir retired because he had had 2 fights, and he retired right before. I did like what was it? It was like an 8-person tournament, and each person had 2 matches in one night, and then the champions were going to get a match at the end of the next month, or the next event that they could fight. And he retired after the event. So Kate Jackson failed to make weight. Why did she do that? Okay, so she's not actually a flyweight, but it says that's her best weight. But her minimum weight is 224. I don't know. There's really nothing we can do about that. Just kind of happens. Ooh, Mirko Krokop. For a long time, I thought that was his actual name. I didn't realize I didn't realize it was because he was a Croatian cop. I thought it was just his name. Ooh. Let's see. On the market. 32 years old. What's on the preliminary card? Maybe not. Josh Berkman? Maybe not. Sarah McMahon? Maybe not. Too old. Alright, well, we're not going to get anybody. Actually, for just a moment, I want to look up some people in the light heavyweight division that are younger than 25, male, and available for hire. And I'm just going to scroll through until I see a lot of green, because that is normally a good sign. Oh, Garen Ryson. I don't like his picture, so I'm not even going to bother. That guy looks absolutely crazy. Australian, you know what? We're going to sign him. No harm in 3 fights. Alright, this guy looks pretty alright, I suppose. We'll move on for a second. I want to make sure I'm getting the best of the best. Alright, well, this guy is pretty... I mean, he's well-rounded, but he's not great at everything. Mir over Brock. I mean, in terms of skill, yeah, but Brock Lesnar would... Like, I mean, if we're looking at Frank Mir and Brock Lesnar in their primes, yeah, probably. I would say Frank Mir could beat Brock Lesnar. But if we're looking at Frank Mir versus Brock Lesnar now, Brock Lesnar is going to beat Frank Mir's ass. That's just a fact. All right, Guillotine Sean Hogan. Let's sign him up. Oh wait, that's $19,000. All right. Let's see. Brock would eat Mir alive right now. Yeah, like, I mean, Mir, one of the best fighters of all time. One of the best heavyweights of all time, certainly. But I would not place any bets on him with pretty much anyone. At least at this point in his career. He's just, he's at the point where he probably should have stopped like a year ago. Like, he's past the point of no return. Oh, okay. I definitely like the World Caliber Wrestling. He looks very good, and he has strong marketability. We're going to sign him for 2 years, 4 fights, or 2 fights guaranteed. Actually, you know what? 1 fight guaranteed. No, actually none. Because I don't know how I want to use this guy yet. But we do need a bantamweight, and he can be our prospect. Ooh, maybe not. Alright. Okay. This guy's nickname is the Prospect. So I feel like we have to sign him. If your nickname's the Prospect, you better be a good prospect. Also, he almost had Mir beat in their first fight, but the ref effed up horribly and cost Brock the fight. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Mir. Because the thing with Brock is that Brock is, like, he may not be the best fighter ever, but he is probably one of the best athletes that the UFC has ever had. And that's why he was able to become champion in like 8 fights. Also because, you know, he's famous. And, you know, it was a good decision. Or was it 5 fights? It was less than 8. It was like 5 fights and he was champion. Which, I mean, is very impressive no matter how you spin it. Like a lot of, ooh, this guy actually, 7-0 Russian. I think we definitely have to sign him. Actually, what weight class is this? Featherweight? That makes sense. That guy's haircut is absolutely horrible. Jesus Christ. Ooh, another Russian who is 14-1. Alright, well, he doesn't want to sign with us, but that's okay. It was 3 fights, bro. Oh, well. Oops. Are you talking about Luigi Golden? Yes, I am, actually. Hold on. Jeez. What else do we need? I guess we need heavyweights. All of our heavyweights are old. So we really need some good ones. I want a heavyweight that is going. Oh, okay. National wrestling, strong striking, strong marketability. That is a big dude. I might just get him for the marketability. And because we need prospects, let's go ahead and sign him. If you guys have any prospects, ooh, here's a Russian. Never mind. Can't sign him. But wait, isn't this guy in NXT? I mean, I'm pretty sure this is just a randomly generated, and they probably just use that photo. But isn't that one of the Street Profits? I don't know his name, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Hopefully, I'm not just being racist. And this is going to be our last signing. 1100. Hopefully you can live up to the hype. I mean, I guess there hasn't been too much hype, but... Alright, so all of these guys, I doubt we're going to have any competition in signing them. But I'm definitely excited for all of them. Let's go ahead and move on to our next show. Carvalho versus Musai. Musai's going to win, I'll tell you that right now. But first we got K. Jackson versus the Karate Hottie. Probably one of the least intimidating nicknames of all time, Michelle Watterson. Alright, so I would say probably Kate Jackson. Don't know how good she is, but she's up on the betting line, and she has a team, and that is actually a pretty big factor in winning in this game, to be able to train with a good team. But Jackson is able to get a takedown there, and almost gets the submission. There we go. Kate Jackson wins by arm triangle submission in 3:09 of round 1. Good fight to start off the prelims. Fernando Gonzalez versus Neiman Gracie. I think we all know that Neiman Gracie is going to improve to 10-0 here. You know, if Logan Storley beats Nico Price, then, or even if he doesn't, we need a Neiman Gracie versus Logan Storley fight. Daniel versus Brock. Daniel is going to destroy Brock. I don't know about that. I think Brock's gonna win. Oh, there we go. Neiman Gracie defeats the Menifee Maniac Fernando Gonzalez by Von Flue choke in 307 of round 1, almost identical to our first fight, because that ended in 309. But this one was great. And he actually does want to fight Nico Price, so maybe we should have saved Nico for Neiman. But if Nico loses to Storley, then we will go with Neiman Nico. But if Storley beats, I don't even know what I'm saying. If Nico beats Storley, then Neiman Nico. And if Storley beats Nico, then it's Nico. Okay, you get what I'm trying to say, hopefully. Jeez. I was just saying too many names. Too many names that started with the N's. Oh, there we go. DeFreist falls to the floor. I think that's going to be it. That's a TKO right there. Mario Yamasaki jumps in to stop the fight. That's a first. And Vinicius Spartan Quiros wins the fight by TKO and with strikes in 27 seconds. So that moves him up to 10 wins. And he's a good prospect for our heavyweight division. I can definitely see him being a champion in the future, as soon as Brock Lesnar and Mark Hunt and Frank Mir retire. But after that, it's fair game. Don't know why he was rated as the underdog. And this one, I shouldn't have left him off whenever I was talking about prospects, but I guess Stephen Ray isn't really a prospect anymore. But Stephen Ray is probably the most exciting person on our roster right now. I'm so excited to have Stephen Ray. I don't get what you're trying to say. Well, I'm not going to say it again. Sorry about that. I just do not want to go through the hoops. Basically, Neiman versus Storley or Neiman versus Nico. That's going to be the next fight. But I think if Rob Sinclair can beat Stephen Ray, I'm going to be very surprised. Although there have been instances in my previous save where Stephen Ray is a heavy overdog, I guess, and he is still beaten by a random TKO out of nowhere. But Rob Sinclair, his Muay Thai and boxing background has not been enough to beat Ray in this hand-to-hand exchange. So, if Ray can get him on the ground, it's over pretty much. But if he keeps, sticking on his feet, Sinclair might be able to have a chance here. Not much of a chance, but a puncher's chance nonetheless. Ray continues to score. Sinclair, although, is doing a good job at landing his jabs. It's just the big power punches that he's having trouble with, while Ray is just kind of, he pretty easily handling the punches that Rob Sinclair throws and obviously throwing his own. And Ray, all right, there we go. Ray nearly is knocked out by a big punch to the jaw by Sinclair there. Where would you say Neiman places on contendership for the title? I don't know. He's 10-0, but he hasn't really faced anyone that is too amazing. Also, this has been a really good fight so far. No one he's faced has been in the top 15 or maybe top 10 of the rankings in terms of his weight class. But I mean, it was supposed to be. The guy that he was set to face was I think he was ranked 10 or 11, but he got injured, so that's why Fernando Gonzalez. So Sinclair gets dropped. I think this might be the end. And Ben Wilt pulls Stephen Ray off of Rob Sinclair as Sinclair loses by TKO in 3:46 of round 3. Fight being rated as great. But, I mean, Stephen Ray did a pretty great job. Although there was, the second round was not kind to him. He did not look very good in the second round. But Rob Sinclair retires. All right, nice. Next up, we have Elias Zuzu Silverio. He almost won. Oh wait, this is the Fight Master finale. So we'll see. Will it be the man with the double A from Moscow, or will it be Elias Zuzu Silverio? Both of these guys have earned contracts with Bellator, but we don't know for sure. You know, what's going to happen after they debut or after this fight. I actually don't know what I want the Fight Master prize to be. I would say a #1 contendership, maybe a shot at #1 contendership, because the #1 contendership is kind of a big deal. And I really doubt that they'll beat Ryan Bader. They might have a shot against Phil Davis, but I honestly do not think either of these dudes could beat Ryan Bader right now. But I don't know. We'll see. Right now, it's been pretty even. Nothing too crazy has been going on. And it looks like we're going to get out of the first round with nothing too crazy. And yeah, that looks like it's going to be just about it. Alikhanov, I think that's how you say it. Alikhanov did a little bit better. He was able to land his strikes a little bit more. And he landed some nice body shots and leg kicks. But, you know, it looks like because he put in a little bit too much effort there, he is breathing a little heavier. But as well as Silverio, good thing this wasn't a 5-round fight, as they might not be able to go all the way. Might end in some unanimous decision BS. Hopefully that's not what happens here. I do really want to see a finish, but we'll see if they can deliver. Obviously, if I had to bet on anyone, it would be Alikhanov, just because for one thing he's Russian, and for another thing he has a 14-pound weight advantage. It doesn't sound like too much, but in MMA, when 0.5 pounds can make a difference. So I really think, or like make a difference in weight classes, of course. I really think this might go to Alikhanov, although he hasn't done too much to show me that he can compete on the highest levels. Can't get that takedown, but he goes again and he gets it. Right here, he just needs to either ground and pound or go for the submission. Either one will work. He just needs to, honestly, get on top of Silverio. I don't think either of them are going to be able to finish. So at this point, you just need to go for that UD finish. Neither of them has done particularly well. Nothing too impressive. Silverio especially. He hasn't really done anything. He's just, he hasn't lost, but he isn't able to get that takedown and change the tide a little bit. And there it goes again. I think those might have costed him a little bit. If Alikhanov can just stay on his feet, he'll be fine. I think that's a win for him. And he doesn't get the last second takedown, and that'll go ahead and end it. 10-9 to Alikhanov, or Alikhanov. I don't know how to say his name, but it looks like winner by split decision is Alikhanov. So 5 minutes of round 3. I think we might want a rematch. If it's split decision, I think that's rematch territory. So maybe not immediately, but these two definitely need a rematch. All right, let's move on to the next show. As Alikhanov is your Fight Master champion. He's the winner of Fight Master, I guess. But here we got Eduardo Dantas versus Marcos Galvao. I got to go with Dantas here. He is always, he's always very high up in his division, if not the champion, and he's always a threat with that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Although, there we go. Galvao hits him with a big strike and then goes for the takedown, goes for the submission, but he is not able to get it. And he's kind of controlling Dantas. Dantas does have a 3-inch reach advantage, but if Galvao keeps it on the ground, that won't matter too much. And it seems like even if... Oh, there we go. Almost gets the choke there. But for some reason, they gave that round to Dantas. I definitely didn't see that. I feel like Galvao certainly had that in the bag. But, I mean, if he can keep it up, he'll probably be able to finish. And that first round loss won't matter too much. He's gotten the takedown again. Gets the submission attempt, but he isn't able to sink it in. And I think this might be for a #1 contender match. And there's another takedown, and there's a submission. Eduardo Dantas actually defeats Marcus Galvao, and he will probably be getting a title shot. I'm pretty sure these two are highly rated, maybe even 2-1 or 2-3. So we'll see. But next up is Matt Mitrione versus Satoshi Ishii. And I gotta go with Mitrione here. I would like Ishii to win just because he's younger, and he is the favorite to win. But he does have a 4-inch disadvantage as well as a 33-pound disadvantage. And Mitrione goes ahead and knocks him down, hits him with the big strike, and it looks like this match is over in only 52 seconds, or 1 minute and 6 seconds after the dust is settled. And that is pretty much what I expected. I'm just glad that Mitrione is not retiring. We really need him. But as of right now, Julia Budd versus Germaine de Randamie. And this is the co-main event. I gotta give it to Germaine. She is coming in from the UFC. She's obviously the favorite to win. She really needs to win so that Cyborg will fight for the championship, because even when the championship is on the line, Cyborg did not want to fight Julia Budd. She said she wasn't popular enough. So worst case scenario, hopefully this fight gets Julia Budd over enough to get the submission. And Jesus, I was not expecting that. So I guess Julia Budd, I did not give her enough credit, but she wins by submission in 3:34 of round 1. I was really not expecting that at all. I guess we're going to have to try and convince Cyborg to face Julia. And I guess that win over Germaine definitely will not hurt our case, because we definitely need to get a Julia Budd Cyborg fight going. Otherwise, it's just a waste. Because Cyborg really won't face anyone in that division, which is, a little bit of a testament to how much of a disparity there is from the UFC's women division and Bellator's. But I don't know. But I feel like if Cyborg is open to fighting with Becky Lynch, I feel like she should be able to fight actual Bellator champions. That's just my point of view. But right now, Galvao is facing off against Musai, and he's getting knocked down by Musai. There goes the big strike. That is going to be a TKO for Gerald Musai, and he wins the middleweight title in 3:51 of round 1. Fight being rated as great. That's certainly a shock. I mean, not really. I thought Musai was going to win, no doubt. But for it to happen that quickly is a little bit surprising. And fight and KO. Actually, I'm gonna give fight of the night to Julia, just because it was such a upset. Gerard, he just kind of did exactly what he does all the time. But I'm definitely very impressed with everyone's performances, especially guys like Stephen Ray, Neiman Gracie, and Vinicius Queiroz. Creary, I don't know how to say his name. But we made $350,000 on this event. Be right back. Just became a patron. Alright, nice. Hopefully you can join us for tomorrow's stream on the UPW 1980. As for this stream, I think we're just about done. We got through 1 hour and 30. I think that should be digestible enough in terms of, what was I saying? In terms of VOD, that's it. Has Bellator ever beaten UFC when it comes to pay-per-view buys? No. Mainly because Bellator shows on Paramount, so they don't really rely on pay-per-view. They just show on TV. Back when they did use pay-per-view as their majority distribution, they weren't nearly as popular as they are now, and they're still not nearly as popular as the UFC. So I would be very, very, very surprised. And I highly doubt it. I mean, maybe... No, honestly, I cannot see a situation where Bellator would beat the UFC, especially considering that they've, stopped really even doing pay-per-view, except for like the pre-show they do, but that's on the Fight app, I think, or on their app maybe. So I don't even know. But let's go ahead and try to book this event. You know what? We're gonna put that. They don't want it. Okay, he's not well known enough. Never mind. Relic Gracie, that's the guy. Relic Gracie versus Alonzo Manyfield. That sounds like a pretty good fight. And we can put it on the main card. There's nothing good there. Nothing too good there. Joey Davis versus Alex Lahore. Yeah, that works. After that, I'm going to give Joey Davis a bit more of a test. But for right now, that'll work. And in terms of other fights, Daniel Weichel versus Daniel Strauss should be good. And bantamweight, nobody too good. Actually, that should be. Does she not have the championship? Why is she ranked to number? Oh wait, we don't have a champion for flyweight. That makes sense. All right, well, flyweight. And there we go. So the drawing power of our 211 show is not that great. Actually, I'm going to take that fight off. We need another main card match. But other than that, it looks pretty great because we got Brock Lesnar, Mark Hunt, Muhammad Lawal, Liam McGarry. We finally have GSP versus Douglas Lima at Bellator 210, which is going to be on the next live stream. And thank you guys for watching and sticking with me. Thank you, Hobo Good Vibes, for becoming a patron. I'll make sure to get in contact with you about all the new stuff you're going to be getting. And I'll see everybody in the next one, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later.